What would you do if the place you built with your own hands turned its back on you? Amara Jackson stood outside First Unity Bank, her heels clicking against the polished marble steps. At 42, she was the CEO of the fastest-growing financial institution in the state, a black woman who'd clawed her way up from a one-bedroom apartment in Oakland to the penthouse suite of corporate America. Her bank was her legacy, a beacon for communities long ignored by the financial elite. Yet, today, she stood at its doors not as its leader, but as a stranger. Inside, the air was crisp with the hum of wealth. Amara approached the counter, her ID and account details in hand, requesting a simple withdrawal from her personal account. The teller, a young man with a pinched smile, glanced at her ID, then back at her. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but this account doesn't match our records," he said, his tone clipped. Amara's brow furrowed. "Check again," she replied, her voice calm but edged with steel. The teller hesitated, then typed slowly, as if her presence was an inconvenience. Minutes passed. A line formed behind her. Whispers snaked through the lobby, eyes darting toward her. Then the branch manager, Mr. Hargrove, appeared, a man in his 50s with a slick suit and a smirk that didn't reach his eyes. "Is there a problem here?" he asked, addressing the teller, not Amara. "She claims she's an account holder, but the system doesn't recognize her," the teller said, barely concealing his doubt. Hargrove's gaze slid to Amara, lingering on her face, her clothes, her very existence. "Ma'am, I'll need to see more identification. We can't just let anyone walk in and access high-value accounts." Amara's heart pounded, not with fear, but with a rage she'd learned to temper long ago. "I'm Amara Jackson," she said, her voice steady, "CEO of this bank." Hargrove blinked, then chuckled. "I'm sure you believe that, but let's not make a scene. Step aside, or I'll call security." The lobby went silent. Customers stared. Amara felt the weight of every eye, every assumption, every microaggression she'd faced her entire career condensed into this moment. Then came the twist, a soft voice from the back of the line. "She's telling the truth." It was Lena, a janitor who'd worked at First Unity since its founding. A wiry woman in her 60s, Lena stepped forward, her mop still in hand. "I've seen Ms. Jackson in board meetings. I've cleaned her office." "That's her," the crowd murmured. Hargrove's smirk faltered, but he doubled down. "This is a private matter. Stay out of it," he snapped at Lena. Amara's eyes met Lena's, a silent thank you passing between them. She pulled out her phone, opened the bank's internal app, and activated the live stream to the company's private channel. "Mr. Hargrove," she said, her voice now carrying the weight of a gavel, "you're on camera." Hargrove froze. The lobby's atmosphere shifted, electric with anticipation. Amara continued, "You've denied me access to my own account, questioned my identity, and humiliated me in my own bank. Effective immediately, you're terminated." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Hargrove's face reddened. "You can't," he began, but Amara cut him off. "I built this bank to serve everyone, not to gatekeep based on your biases. You're done." She turned to the teller. "Process my withdrawal. Now." The teller, wide-eyed, complied. Lena smiled quietly from the corner, her presence a reminder of the unsung heroes who see everything. As Amara walked out, cash in hand, the crowd parted. Some clapped. Others whispered. But Amara didn't care. She'd reclaimed her power, not just for herself, but for every person who'd ever been made to feel small. 7 minutes after being denied, Amara had turned the tables. She wasn't just a CEO. She was a force, a symbol of resilience in a world quick to judge. Lena's quiet courage had tipped the scales, a reminder that truth often comes from the least expected voices. Together, they'd exposed a flaw in the system. Amara had built a flaw she'd now dedicate herself to fixing. As she stepped back into the sunlight, Amara vowed to ensure no one else would face what she had. Her bank would be a place of equity, not exclusion. And somewhere, Lena was mopping the floors, knowing she'd helped change the course of history. Yindi.